Tom and Custom Works. It's all about getting the A40 finished, all those little details, all those little bits and bobs to get it on the road. Let's get to the workshop. So, A40 project, coming very close to it being finished, but it's all those finishing touches, and as everyone's going to know, like that last 5% takes longer than that whole 95% of the build. But anyway, that's what we're embarking on. And what we're going to do is try and get an interior in this car in the cheapest and easiest way. Cheapest? Wait a minute, the most cost-effective way. But what I want to do is make life easy. So let's have a look at some of the ways you can make life a lot easier when you're doing an interior. Once again, I'm using like this 3D stretch fabric, which, like, let's just say we're going to cover this beautiful aluminium tornneau cover with it. It will stretch, and when you glue it, it stretches and like holds, so you can get a clean, like a clean radius around curvy stuff. It's really good. It's for the back of like vans, and I don't know if you can do out your camper van, something like that, but look, really stretches, and it stretches always round, which other fabric doesn't, but it's really good. And you can get an interior in a car in a couple of days. So what I do, I go on eBay, just buy it in the pack, you get the really good glue that like the heat doesn't affect too much, and you get enough of this to do like interior sort of thing. So that's what I'm using. Okay then, so inside the A40, we've got to carpet this out, and you might remember that a while back we sculpted all of this back with expanding foam. And the reason I've done this is because this was a lot of things coming together, really complicated sort of junction of things, but this just smooths it out, so the fabric will just wrap around that. Similarly, down here, got this whole situation here where like the door shut seems to be glassed here, something else down here, and there's this big gap, and to cover this in the fabric, it's just not worth it, and it'll never look any good anyway. Now what I've done, made some cardboard templates, that fits in there, and all it does, it just simplifies the shape. All I'm looking at is just to simplify the shape so the carpet sort of just flows around. And similarly on the other side I'll do the same thing. But now we've got this, let's get this cut out of a piece of dye bond, and then let's get it bonded into place. Right, so one thing that always makes stuff look rubbish is, if you can see, it's what I call like a white seam. White seams, like, you know, if someone's like doing like old school turtle wax on a car and all that like polish is in the seams and all of that, things like that. If it's meant to be black, it should be absolutely black. And here we have that kind of problem. This is a surround, which is basically just a piece of painted MDF, but I've got little bits of, I've had to bond it on with filler, because this rear panel is really dodgy. So basically what it is that from the back, from looking through the window, you can see a little bit of the back of this. You can see a little bit of adhesive. Just here you can see little bits of adhesive. Because this is all black on black, I can just go round with a bit of black paint here I just dust it in there. And that's it. And what that'll do, just everything's blacked out then and everything looks so much better. But you can do this in so many places. Under the dashboard, in that void between like the floor and wherever else. Or if any parts of, you know, your chassis hanging down. On this car in particular, the leaf springs hang down and they've been painted the same colour as the car. But what I will do, before this car goes out, I'll just get some of this and it's just a bit of black stone chip and I'll just blow them in and everything just looks that little bit better. So up to now, got all the floor done, back panel and the roof. All these little details like the pillars, all of this has come out really nice. If you remember back in a previous episode, we filled all this with foam to make this go round nicely. And that's come out lovely, but there is one glaring omission to this interior, except for like it's got no seats or steering wheel. Let's just go by that. But this door, no door card, got this actuator sticking out, this handle all in the way, so we need to make that door card. I've had to make them smaller because of course now we've got door seals around the door. Also, I've had to bring it out a little bit because we've got those actuators in there shoving the windows up and down rather than those like bits of string that it had before. But yeah, this is what I want. So let's have a look at how I made that happen. Started out with the original door card, which was too big because we've got those the seals on the door and that little rebate now. So I cut the door card down and I've put this 18mm upstand on it, just ripped down some plywood, might have fixed that on. So that will stick out a little bit and the actuator can move behind it. And then, because there's all things like this where someone's put, I don't know, speakers, whatever in there in the past, I've just gone over the whole thing, a nice new piece of dye bond, just to make it like super clean and nice for me to stick the fabric over. So this is essentially done. I've drilled all the holes. They'll get like a penny washer and a screw in to add a nice sort of industrial detail to everything. This is now ready to be covered in the 3D cloth. With this stuff, if things are flat, it's just really easy. So I've just gone over this door card like that and I just fold half of it back. On with the adhesive. So now what I'm going to do, I turn it over, I've got plenty of glue around here, I'm going to glue all of these edges up to here. So then, that's that covered. Door card's done. Obviously there's all bits on it now because it's on my filthy workbench. But yeah, we'll go around the car with the hoover, a little brush, get all this clean. It just makes a really nice job. And if you've got really rubbish old door cards in your car and they fall into pieces, you can go over them. That's going to be really easy with this stuff. Or you can just cut a piece of like Foamex or Dibond, cover that straight on, just tidies everything up. And it's quite dull acoustically as well, so it makes things a little bit quieter. Anyway, let's get this fitted on the car. Okay then, so it's in, it's the right size, so I've just got to fit it to the door. And with this, because I pre-drilled those holes, I can just go through with the screw into the fiberglass, and that's it. Obviously making sure the screws, you know, aren't so long they're going to get, you know, interfere with the window winding mechanism. So I'll screw it on. And this way as well, you can get it nice and central so that, you know, there's a decent gap all the way around it. Using like a 45mm screw here, but if you're in America, that would be a 9 by 1/7/8, 7/16, 92 or something. Right, so got a couple of screws in there. Now to put all the screws in all the way around, because I know that this doesn't foul anywhere and the door opens and closes nicely, so it's time to fix it. There it is, all the screws are in. Too many shiny washers though, and this bit looks a bit weird, like this, and there's a lot of lines here, so let's tidy this up. Right, and so this is one of them things where this door, you know what I mean, it's not a show rod, it's meant to be a 60s style gasser, but it's got a little bit more of a plush interior just so it's nice to drive, you know, more than for like 15 seconds on the weekend. It doesn't look as good as the other side. And what we've got all this grey behind here. Now we've got a bit of a gap here. This is all a little bit rough up here. This doesn't quite cover it. There's holes down the side. So we're going to make it look neater. And first off, you got to think, where are my straight lines? Now, I don't want to paint this bottom bit because I want the car to look like it's been properly painted. So leaving a little bit of grey at the bottom, there's no problem. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to mask up to get the cleanest lines. All of this sort of thing is made a lot better if you've got, you know, like a full complement of working fingers. At the minute, my thumb's had, what, 2 altercations with an angle grinder just today alone, you know. So I'm somewhat impaired. I put some masking around there. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to paint it in. I'm going to go on first with some stone chip, then probably with some satin black. Use stone chip first because it gives a little bit of texture. Also it covers like so good. So I've gone over everything. Stone chip always seems to stick a lot better, so I've gone over all the screw heads, all the screws, so you can't see those anymore, and I've gone all the way around. However, this dries a little bit like a super dark grey rather than black, so what I will do is just go over it with some satin black in about 5 minutes time when it's flashed off. Right, and so, things we've done. Got the steering wheel in now. We painted up that sort of Max Powery sort of steering wheel black, and that looks pretty cool now, matches everything. Got the seats in, they're all bolted through into good sound bit in the car. Just need a final clean up and then we're there. Also got all the belts in, everything's right. We are really close on this. On the front, bonnet latches, we've got these cool sort of quick release, so we can just get in there. Bonnet opens up, no wobble in the bonnet no more. And we've blacked under the bonnet just so everything looks nice and neat and tidy. We've now got the mirrors on the A40 as well. I had a few problems with this. I couldn't get behind at any point, tighten the nut. So what I did, I bolted through this teardrop plate, put some screws in that to hold it on, and I drilled a hole so the nut sits in and then that holds it on. I can just fix it from here. Did that on both sides. Oh, it's come out quite nicely. It's a nice little detail. On the back of the A40, I thought we want to try and keep this, you know, with that hot rod drag racing sort of feel. So we put these cool like bonnet pins in to hold the back down. So just take those out. And the bed goes up on its gas rams. Got some little rubber pads there, just so it don't like slap down onto it. And then back on. And this is looking super, super cool. So then, over this weekend, what we're going to be doing on this, we're going to be cleaning it and just doing all those like tiny, tiny details. Masking tape, matte black, things like that. Just make it all super sharp and super nice. We're going to be doing that over this weekend. So hopefully next week, we'll get this out on the road. And next time on Kustom Works, the A40 will be driving on the streets for quite a while. And when I first got it and first saw it, I thought maybe that won't never happen. But here it is, almost finished. Just to clean and then hit the road. Okay, and don't forget, click the subscribe button, click the thumbs up, leave a message below. Do whatever you got to do, press that bell icon and all of that stuff. That's all for this week. Join us next time when we're going to have the A40, probably a little bit on the 6-stitch truck. Who knows? It's going to be awesome. Between now and then, time will elapse, but it will soon be here. So thank you very much and good night.